Are you in the market for a new bedside lamp? In this video, I'm going to show you why the Yeelight Bedside Lamp 2 just might be what you're looking for. Hey guys, Chris Young here from Homekitgeek, the channel where we bring you new smart home content every single week, looking at Apple HomeKit, a little bit of Amazon, Google, Home Assistant, and whatever else I find interesting. If you find that interesting, do me a favor, consider subscribing below and ring that bell to get notified when new videos are available. So first things first, I want to say thank you to Banggood for sending me this Yeelight Bedside Lamp 2 and really just let you guys know where I got it from in case you think it affects my opinion. So the Yeelight Bedside Lamp 2, you can see here, this is a small bedside lamp, right? It is USB-C powered, and honestly, right now, this is my preferred choice for bedside lamps, of which there are not that many of them currently available in the HomeKit supported ecosystem. So you can see this is not that big of a lamp. It's fairly small, and one of the things I like the most about this is really the tactile response, right? So you can tap right on top of it. I'm using this lamp in my 13-year-old's room, and so far it's been a hit. He doesn't have to worry about tapping buttons. He doesn't worry about anything at all, flipping switches, voice activation, none of that. All he has to do is reach over and tap the lamp and it goes on and off, which is pretty cool if he just wants to read a little bit before going to bed. So overall, this is right now my top pick of the lamps that I've actually looked at and held in my hands. So there's some other options available which you could look at, like the Xiaomi bedside lamp. You could possibly use some desk lamps in here, but this right now is my top pick, especially because it's got really, really low lighting. The lumens, it's not that bright. The tactile response, right? Everything, all the controls you need right on there. No one has to say anything to it. Really, definitely a top pick right now, at least in my mind. Let's take a look. So let's get into the speeds and feeds. The Yeelight LED Bedside Lamp D2. This is a Wi-Fi plus Bluetooth 4.2 BLE, 14 centimeters in the diameter and about 10 centimeters high. It is color and white tones, WRGB, 5 volts. It can be powered by both 100 to 240 volts, USB-C powered, so really you can plug it into even your laptop and power it from there. It does have dynamic scenes, and one of the additions that the new model has compared to the older bedside lamp is touch controls. And of course, you've got cloud and local API, and it works with Apple HomeKit, with Amazon, Google, and quite a few other ecosystems. Let's get a look into the unboxing. So this is how I received the box. You can tell here it got a little bit mangled in shipping. Sometimes that's just the way these things happen, especially when we're getting these from overseas. So the box itself is pretty clear. Apple HomeKit, Reddit Award 2019, all that good stuff. It generally seems to be a fairly well-designed box. And opening it up, you can see that nothing was broken, which is good, right? Especially when you're ordering things from overseas, you're always kind of concerned, how is this going to arrive? Is it going to arrive in one piece? What happens when it's broken, right? All the instructions, everything that I needed to see in the box was included. HomeKit code is included as well. And of course, as we open this up a little more, you can see here that basically the charger was a USB-C with a full plug. Now, the USB-C plug here, you could actually use any other USB power, assuming that you've got 5 volts, right? This may not work on some of the lower volt USB adapters, so just be aware of that if you're playing around with it. Definitely use the included power if you can. So as you can see here, taking this out of the box, it does have the sticker on the top of it. It is fairly light for the size, which is not quite unexpected because most of it is just empty space on the inside with that white plastic for diffusing the LEDs in the light itself. So as you can see here, I've got a USB cable. I'm just going to plug this into a power bar where I have some USB slots on. And again, the sticker here, it does give me some stuff. I'm not exactly sure what it says because it was written in Chinese. As you can see here, if I aim the text, it's going to give me a little bit. You can use Google Translate app to be able to do some text speech. So again, it just tells you a little bit about what's on there. So if you guys have not seen this trick already, definitely the Google Translate app, really cool that it's able to do this. So one thing that I do want to point out, which I'm not a big fan of, is taking that sticker off the top of it. It has left a sticky residue, which I've tried to clean off on a couple of occasions, and it's getting better over time, but it is something just to be aware of that is kind of annoying. I wish they would not have put that the sticker there. Again, you could use maybe some vinegar or rubbing alcohol, something like that, and it might make it a little bit better. So in the background, you can see that we're adding this. This is definitely the typical HomeKit edition. There's nothing special about this. You go into the HomeKit app and we're good to go, right? We'll put this in the right appropriate room, and that's really about it. So again, as we continue through here, Apple HomeKit has gotten a little bit smarter in the last little while. It is going to suggest the scenes for us. And now we're going to see what we can do as far as controlling this within Apple HomeKit. So in general, we're going to have that exact same consistent HomeKit experience that we see across all the lights. We can tap on or off. We can long press into it. We can adjust the light. All of that is going to work exactly like every other color light within Apple HomeKit, which is good. That's that consistency. As well, you're going to have the ability to trigger this based on any HomeKit compatible motion sensor or contact sensor. Include this in your scenes and your automations. Again, that's why we like HomeKit, is it brings all these devices from different vendors together and really allows us to be able to connect them in ways. But there is additional functionality that we can get to if we go in and look at the Yeelight application itself. So let's do that now. So the Yeelight app is, it's a little bit different in that I'm going to have to actually bind my bedside lamp, the new bedside lamp, to the Yee app as well. So I'm going to have to go into it and click on that plus button. I am logged into the North American servers. And this is what we're going to have to do to be able to get this to be able to connect in. So I can click it up there at the top and say add from HomeKit, which is great. Right, so if I wanted to add this and just control it with Yeelight, I would use the app. But because I've already connected it to HomeKit and the Yeelight app has knowledge of my HomeKit database, I'm going to be able to import it directly and bind that to my account. So now I can control this bedside lamp using Amazon's Madam A or Google Home app, right, or any of the other apps or cloud-like connections that the Yeelight app supports. So one thing I would always recommend you do is to go through and look at the firmware updates. And now let's take a little look and a little tour around the Yeelight app. So getting to the Yeelight app here a little bit, you can see you've got all the built-in scenes, and of course you can build your own scenes, which is nice. You've got full controls over the brightness. You can change the color for reading, sunset, all of that stuff. But there are some things that you're going to want to set up as well that are not by default. So as I mentioned earlier, the touch controls are available for this bedside lamp, and that's one of the things I really like, but they're not turned on by default. So you're gonna have to go and do that, at least turn them on. At that point, it's a set it and forget it, right? You can see in the background here, tap, turn it off, double tap, turn it back on. And once you've done that, honestly, you could never use the Yeelight app again if you so chose, right? So that's one thing I would definitely encourage you guys to do if you're going to pick up this product. You've got all the other options here as well. I do really like the fact that device info gives us the MAC address, IP address of this. As a networking person, I like to know, be able to figure out exactly what apps or what devices are on my network and get an idea, like, so I can go and troubleshoot them and all those kinds of things. So it's a nice touch. You also have dynamic scenes, as I said. So you've got like the color flicker here, which you could save as a favorite, as the candle scene, for instance, right? So we can save that as our favorite. Click OK if we so choose. Right, again, candle flicker is not going to work because I'm using the name of a pre-existing scene. So there's a lot of other functions in the app here. The music flow is one that's kind of interesting if you want the device here to respond to whatever music is in the background. So the bedside lamp does not have a microphone, so you're going to have to give it permission to use the microphone of your phone, right? Which is an important thing. So at this point, you play music on it, and it's going to flash and adjust and do its thing, right? You can see in the background here, it's adapting to the noise that I'm making. One of the other things I want to point out is the Siri shortcuts function. So I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Go check out the video from Shane Creates on the Yeelight products, where he gives you some tips and tricks on how to access some of these dynamic scenes. So that brings us to the end, guys. What do I think about this? I think I've really summed it up already. This is my currently, at least as of the filming of this video, top pick for bedside lamps. The tactile response is a big winner here. The dynamic scenes that are available in it, the fact that it's supported on Apple HomeKit, Google, Amazon, all of those, that's a really big deal in my mind. It gives me the most flexibility, and it lets me basically choose, or the person who's using it, my son, choose how he wants to control it. He can do voice activation, he can just tap it, he can use buttons, all of those things. So really, all of those things together, wrapped around it. I haven't really found anything about this I really don't like yet. The primary user, again, is not me, it's my son, and I've also asked him his feedback, and so far, he's really digging it. In fact, I stole it for a couple of days to film this video, and he actually complained about it, which is, I think, probably the biggest endorsement you can get. What do you guys think? Did I miss anything? Any comments, questions that you want me to fill more in on? Definitely put those in the comments section below, and I'll be happy to get to those as soon as possible. Again, I want to thank Banggood here for sending me this as a review unit, and make sure you guys know and are reminded where it came from and that I didn't actually pay money for this device, just in case you think that affects my opinion. If you haven't subscribed already, do me a favor, do that. Hit the like button, shares, always appreciated. See you guys on the next video.